Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video today, I'm going to be going over the four main kicks of karate: the front kick, the side kick, back kick, and the roundhouse kick. Okay, the Mae-geri, Yokogeri Kikomi, Ushirageri, and Maoshigeri kicks. And I'm going to highlight what I consider to be one of the biggest problem areas for each kick. So hopefully in this video, you're going to get something that maybe helps to improve some of your kicking techniques as well, or the kicking techniques of your students if you are teaching. In the comments below, let me know what you find are the biggest problem areas for your kicking techniques. They might be the ones that you see in here, or they might be different ones. Maybe I can address them in a video later on. But don't forget, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done before, and let's get on with the video. Right, so the first kick, the front kick or the Mae-geri, the biggest problem tends to be with the snapping of the kick back, the retracting back into the chamber, or getting the kick into a chamber position and then snapping it out with good force, speed, and good technique. So I've got a progressive exercise here that's going to have two stages that's going to help to encourage that chamber position and make sure that we are correctly loading the kick every single time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a kneeling position like this. Okay, so the non-kicking leg is in the front, the one I'm working is on the back. From this position now, I've made it so that I have no space to, so I've got less space for the kick to happen. So I must now chamber the kick properly if I'm coming up from this position, okay? So I'm coming from the floor and kicking and returning to this same spot each time. Again, like I said, it encourages the knee to chamber properly before coming back down, okay? So we have to chamber it nicely or correctly, extend the kick and pull back to the chamber before we can come back to this position. Yeah, because one of the most common problems, like I said, is basically just people kind of kicking and dropping that leg afterwards, okay? We want to get that nice snapping action, and then we can place our foot down into our stance after, so that we're in control of the landing and not the kick taking control of us, right? So we have to be here, send the kick, and I control where I go after that. So again, from here, we'll change legs, we'll do both sides. Same thing, knee comes up, snap the kick, and back down again. Knee up, snap the kick, and back down, this way. Also, by going onto the ball of the foot, we're encouraging the correct position for the foot to be in for the kick. So the foot needs to be dorsiflexed. So the toes need to be lifted and the foot needs to be lifted towards the shin, okay? One of the other common mistakes that I see in Mae-geri often is the foot is down this way. So as the kick extends, it's kind of rising upwards. We want to have the foot flexed up as we come forwards, then we pop that foot into the target at the end. Okay, so again from here, kneeling position, drive up, snap the kick, and back down again. The next stage to that, which is a little bit more difficult and gives us even less space to create that kick from, is from a Caesar position or a kneeling position. Now from here, I'm going to pop my hips up and throw the kick from underneath that position. Okay, so this is encouraging that hip drive forwards as well as making sure we are chambering properly. I can go from the balls of the feet, so the toes pull back again to encourage that correct foot position. I can drive up from here and make Mae-geris like this. I prefer to go from the Caesar position then because it's even lower, makes it a little harder for us, right? So we're driving up, kicking and back down, up, kicking and back down. Try to avoid bringing it around the outside, which changes the mechanics of the kick. So from here, driving up, straight into the target with that front kick. The next kick we're going to take care of is the Maoshigeri. And for me, the biggest problem that I see people doing is not twisting the supporting foot around when they're kicking. They're trying to kick and keep that foot still, which is going to result in injury to that knee because the foot or the knee wants to stay. You're trying to keep the foot there and you're trying to rotate around. This knee's just taking a lot of damage there and potential for sort of tearing ligaments and stuff in the knee joint. So the most important part that I see when I'm teaching at my dojo and other people's dojos is that this foot needs to rotate better for that Maoshigeri or roundhouse kick. Okay, so the exercise I'm going to do for this kick are going to take care of that. So for these exercises, sometimes it's just breaking the kick down into smaller components that we can then put back into the kick to make it better. We don't always have to practice the full kick in order to improve our kicking technique. So this one, as I said, it's going to be taking care of that rotation of the supporting foot. So I'm going to hold on to the side of something. I've got this bar here. Because I don't want to be training my balance for this. I want to focus purely on the work I'm after. So I'm going to take balance out of the equation. I'm going to hold on to this and I'm going to bring my back knee up straight I'm going to lift up onto the ball of my foot, the standing foot, turn my heel through and turn that foot right around to make that mawashi position. Okay, ready for that kick from here. Okay, then I come back. So again, think about getting my heel all the way around to face the opponent or the target. Ball of the foot, I'm rotating on, not the heel. Okay, take control of the ball of the foot. Knee comes up, then I rotate my foot around to make that kick in position at the end. Now, we don't have to train the full kick, like I said, so what I'm going to do from here then, the exercise would consist of this. Lift, rotate back and down. Look at what happens to my knee position. It comes from a vertical to a horizontal position to get the correct path of that mawashi geri. As I'm here, vertical, and then I turn my foot around and get that horizontal position. Okay, then I can deliver the kick and I can rotate back and come down again. All right, so this is the most important part for me in my experience when I've been teaching. So from here, knee comes up, rotate, and I can send the kick this way. Or I can purely just make repetitions of that exercise. 1, back, 1, back, 1, back. Once we are confident with the bar, we could then try without. So we come up, working on the rotation here. The good thing about the rotation back after is that it takes care of another problem that people tend to have with the kick, is that people send the kick nicely, hip goes in, but then the body is turned to the opponent. So what we need to do then is send the kick, 1, then get the hip back in again before we re-enter the fighting position. So this exercise takes care of both those, the start and the finish. Here, over, back, down. Here, over, back, and down. The next kick we're going to cover is the Yokogeri Kikomi, or the side thrust kick, or Sokoto Geri in other styles. So the problem I see most with this is the chamber position ends up looking very much like a mawashi geri. Okay, so the way I like to teach it at least is to get my hips and glutes to show towards the target first. So my first action would be this, showing everything this side before I deliver the kick towards the opponent or the target. And what tends to happen quite often is that it chambers more so here, which becomes mawashi geri, like we just did in the previous kicking exercise. So in order to train this one, we're going to use the wall again. What I want to do here is take my non-kicking leg and face the wall with it, okay? I'll try and angle it towards the camera more so. So I'm facing the wall with that non-kicking leg. The kicking leg, I want to cross over in front of my non-kicking leg, okay? So now what happens is as I pick this up, there's no choice but for me to show the hip to the target, okay? If I start this side, then we can chamber it incorrectly. From this side, I want to start here. I want to lift the knee up, and for the thrust kick, I want to be leading with my foot, okay? So the knee is behind the foot and it drives it into the target. So from here then, lift the knee, show the heel to the target, and show my glutes and hip to the target. And then from there, extend the kick out, okay? Back into that front position. So if we're talking in traditional karate stances, we can make Niko Ashidachi here, okay? So I'm supporting my weight with my left leg right now, lifting the right leg up, coming to this line here, and delivering that Yokogeri Kikomi from that position. Okay, so here, lift, deliver, and back. Lift, deliver, and back. Hasn't got to be high. Whatever height you can work at is absolutely fine. Okay, but the key point is to show the hip to the target. So a progression from there then is to, or an additional exercise to that then, is to get that same setup position, come out, show the hip, extend, and work on just holding that kick for this position. Putting it back. Make sure as well that when we rechamber the kick, we're rechambering along the same path that we delivered it. I don't want to kick here and then hook it back afterwards. This is another common mistake that is related to that hip position. So I want to be here, send the kick, and pull it back the way it came. 1, and pull it back in the way that it came, it was delivered, okay? So again, last one, show the hip to the target, chamber, hip, heel first, and deliver this way. The fourth and final kick that I'm going to cover in this video of the sort of 4 main kicks in karate, or Shotokan karate at least, is the Ushirageri. Now the biggest problem, or the most common problem for Ushirageri, is that the kick ends up turning into a side kick. So when people are turning, they're letting that knee come out and it becomes a side kick instead of a back kick. Okay, so what we want to really do is tuck that heel underneath the body here. Heel is underneath from this position, drive and come straight back. So again, like I said in the previous one, chambering in the same place that we, or re-chambering back in the same place we started. So in order to do this one, keep that leg, keep those knees together and send the kick straight. We are again going to use the wall for an exercise. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to be close to the wall. I'll show on the left side first so I can face the camera, but from here I want to be close to the wall, tuck on my heel and send the kick straight behind me here, straight behind. Now the wall is blocking me from bringing that leg out to the side, isn't it? All right, so I'm here. This is a little bit less than ideal because we've got this bar here, but I can maybe use that to hold for now. So here, send the kick back, send the kick back. So we're getting a full hip extension behind us. I'll show from the other side. So from here, I want to get close to the wall as possible so I don't have any of this work going on, touching that wall. And I'm tucking the heel, sending it back and coming down again. Tuck the heel, send it back and down. Tuck, send it back and down. So we're training ourselves to keep that kick straight. As it comes from underneath, it makes it a little bit more difficult to defend against as well. When the kick turns into a side kick, it's very easy to just kind of block the kick as it comes in. This way, it's very hard because the kick comes from almost under and up into the body. So even if the hands come down to defend against it, the kick still rises up underneath and it's a lovely kick to land in Kumite. So again, from here, close to the wall, tuck the heel, send back and down, send back and down. And that's that exercise for Ushirageri to ensure that that straight kick, straight back kick happens. Okay, so there's 4 kicks there with a number of exercises that you can do, probably at home really, because it takes very little space to try to develop better kicking techniques there. I've covered other kicks that are outside of that on this channel. So we've had a Yokogeri Kiyagi work. I've got a video on that. Uramoshigeri, spinning hook kicks, all these kinds of things I've got all on this channel. So if you want to look at those, please check them out. If you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel and you can get more of this stuff. Make sure you click the, I think it's the bell icon to get you notified that the videos are coming up because they're going on a regular basis. So if you want to be notified when these videos come on and you're getting lessons every week, then make sure you click that and it will go straight to your phone and tell you when I have uploaded the next one. Don't forget to check out my partnership with Art Martial Clothing, a martial arts clothing lifestyle brand that have really nice martial arts inspired designs on all kinds of things, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, bags, trousers, shorts, all the kind of stuff that you want to get for the gym or for the dojo. Okay, so have a look at those. I'll put a link in the description of this video. You can check them out. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.